Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Hello, guys. How are you
Hello,
doing
teacher. I'm
today?
fine. And you?
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, thank you. I'm excellent today. Welcome to our session. Today we're having our 12th class. And today is Wednesday, August the 16th. So let's start, peeps. I am going to share with you where the agenda today. We're going to have a very interesting class. We're going to talk about culture. We are going to raise our cultural awareness now that in previous classes we have been talking about the importance of understanding, right, our customers whenever we feel or whenever we have to deal with a person um or from a person from a different country, right? A person that is not from Colombia. So we are going to have a session about cultural awareness. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. So we are going to start with one short activity as a warming up, about cultural awareness. Then we are going to watch a video about this, and we are going to do a reading activity about exploration of cultural diversity. Then you guys are going to work in groups. This activity is going to be graded, okay? So you guys are going to choose two countries with different cultures. It cannot be Colombia, of course. We're going to focus on different cultures. So we're going to be working in teams, and you guys are going to follow a guideline that I'm going to share with you for this activity that is going to be graded. And if we have time, only if we have time, we're going to do a Moodle activity. Okay, good. So let's start with the first activity that is about cultural awareness. When you open the link, you're going to see something like this. So you're going to click on start. You don't have to identify yourself, just click on start. And then you are going to have some words and then some definitions. We have, for example, table manners, etiquette, punctuality, customary, offensive, cultural literacy, impolite, and taboo. And then we have here the definition that is rules for polite behavior when eating with other people. Okay, so if it is, for example, punctuality, which of course is not, you are going to click on the word punctuality, and then you're going to click on the definition that you think matches the word, and you are going to receive immediate feedback. So it's going to tell you if it is right or if it is wrong. Of course, this is going to be wrong because it's not the definition of punctuality. Okay, so you're going to try to match the definition to the word. Clear, guys?
Yes, teacher, it is clear.
All righty, very good. So please start, and also let me know once you finish the task. Thank you. Guys, let me know when you finish the task, please. Alrighty, peeps. I am going to start with the roll call. Okay, perfect. So once you hear your name, please let me know that you are in the session. So let's start. Okay, Mayra, Christian, excellent. So today is the 16th. All right. Acevedo Cuevas Saray. Albarracín Caballero Cristian.
I'm here, teacher.
Great. Ayala Viloria Joeli. Okay, Joeli. Vaca Jain Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Okay, very good. Carrero Bonilla John Hammer.
Present, teacher.
Great. Amazing. Fonseca García Freddy.
I'm here.
Great. Lozada Díaz de Analicet.
Present, teacher.
Great, Diana. Muñoz Salazar Andrea. Well, she still has medical excuse. Pérez Ardila Natalie. Natalie.
Teacher, I think that she is sick. I
Oh,
talked to her and she told me that she is I don't know, I don't remember how to say incapacitada.
okay. So she has a medical excuse. She cannot come here.
Yes. Yes, teacher.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Pinzón Linares Mayra.
Present, teacher.
Great, Mayra. Rodríguez Llorente Harold. Harold is not here. Sandoval Miranda Angélica.
I'm here, teacher.
Alrighty. Velasco Uribe Ana María.
I'm here, teacher.
Great. Vera Peña Jennifer.
Here, teacher.
Alrighty, excellent. Very good, guys. So we're going to move on, and now we're going to watch some videos. But before we start with the videos, do you have any questions about the activity, the vocabulary activity, or is everything clear about it?
It was clear.
Here, teacher.
Clear? Alrighty, very good. So that activity was to begin with our session today. That was the purpose of this activity, because we're going to be talking about culture, which is one topic that I personally love. I really, really, really love this. So we are going to start with two activities, two videos. So we are going to watch two videos and answer the following questions. So we're gonna watch two. The first one is we are going to see like certain situations that are different from one country to another. And then the second video, we are going to learn a little bit more about, for example, culture, body language, communication overall. So we are going to, after watching the videos, I am going to allow you some time for you to answer these three questions. The first one is, what is cultural awareness? Number two, why is this so important? That means cultural awareness, so important in daily life and in business. And number three, give information about the following based on the video. So about culture, about body language, and about culture shock. Only these three, okay? So you guys are going to watch the video, two videos, very short, very interesting. And then I'm going to give you some minutes for you to answer these questions. Now, do you want me to show you the videos, or do you want to show the videos individually? I'm going to show you the two videos. So they're very short. I mean, they're not that long. For example, this one is only 4 minutes. This one is only 4 minutes. And then the other one is this one. It's 5 minutes. So it will be more or less 10 minutes of 10 to 12 minutes of videos, but they're very interesting. So it's up to you. Do you want to watch the videos individually, or do you want me to share my screen and show you the videos? Whatever you guys prefer. Nothing?
Will you show us the videos?
I can share the video.
Good.
To share the videos?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All righty, very good.
Yes, please, teacher.
Okay, very good. So the first one is funny but true cultural differences. That is going to be the first video. So alrighty, let's watch that. Let me know if you can hear and if you can see the video without any inconvenience. So I'm going to start the video for 3 seconds. You're gonna let me know if you can hear clearly and perfectly, and then I know that everything is good with the video.
Ciao, Sophia.
Can you hear?
Yes, teacher.
All right, very good.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
In Italy, different flowers have different meanings. Chrysanthemums, for example, are associated with funerals and sadness. At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge. HSBC, the world's open.
Sprzedajemy coraz więcej pralek w Indiach. Dowiedz się dlaczego.
If you're going to do business internationally, you should be with a bank that knows about international business. HSBC Commercial Banking spans 64 countries and territories around the globe.
Look at this. With your machines, I make 10 times more lassi than I used to. Have it?
Your business success is out there. Is your bank?
In some Asian cities, it's it's considered acceptable for a commuter to fall asleep on the shoulder of a stranger. In New York, it's quite a different story. Of course, it could always adapt. We're the global bank that never underestimates the importance of local knowledge. HSBC, the world's local bank.
The English believe it's a slur on your host's food if you don't clear your plate. Whereas the Chinese feel you're questioning their generosity if you do. At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge. Which is why we have local banks staffed by local people in over 80 countries across the globe. HSBC, the world's local bank.
In America, if you hit a hole-in-one, you're expected to buy everyone a drink. However, in Japan, it's traditional to buy your playing partners expensive gifts.
Same hole.
At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge. HSBC, the world's local bank.
All right, guys. We are going to watch the second video, and then the second video is about cultural awareness. Okay, so let's watch this second video. It lasts 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So now we're going to watch it.
Welcome to the Cultural Explorer, the YouTube channel that takes you on a journey to explore different cultures and traditions around the world. In today's video, we will be discussing the role of body language in communication across cultures. Body language is a critical aspect of communication that conveys information, emotions, and intentions without the use of words. However, body language can vary significantly across cultures and can sometimes lead to misunderstandings in intercultural communication. Understanding and adapting to different body language styles can improve communication and build stronger relationships with people from diverse backgrounds. Body language can differ significantly across cultures. For example, in Western cultures like the United States, eye contact is often seen as a sign of respect and attentiveness, while in some Asian cultures like Japan, it may be seen as a sign of disrespect or confrontation. Similarly, in some Latin American cultures like Mexico and Brazil, physical touch such as hugging or touching is common, while in others like Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries, it may be seen as intrusive. It is essential to be aware of these cultural differences in body language and to adapt your communication style accordingly to avoid misunderstandings. Culture can significantly impact body language. Different cultural values and beliefs can influence how people express themselves non-verbally. For instance, in some Asian cultures like South Korea and China, showing emotions such as anger or frustration openly is frowned upon. while in Latin American cultures like Colombia, it is perfectly acceptable. In some African cultures like Kenya and Nigeria, physical contact is a common way to greet someone, while in Japan, bowing is the norm. Therefore, understanding how culture impacts body language can help in cross-cultural communication. Misunderstandings can often arise due to cultural differences in body language. For example, in some cultures, nodding your head up and down means yes, while in others, like Bulgaria and Greece, it may mean no. Similarly, some cultures may smile to indicate discomfort or embarrassment, while in others, like Russia and Ukraine, it is seen as a sign of insincerity. These misunderstandings can lead to confusion, conflict, or even offense. It is essential to be aware of these cultural differences and to clarify the meaning behind nonverbal cues to avoid misunderstandings. Body language can also vary depending on the context in which it is used. For example, body language used in business meetings can differ significantly from that used in social gatherings. In some Asian cultures like China and South Korea, using direct eye contact and assertive body language may be seen as a sign of confidence and leadership in a business context, while in others, like Thailand and the Philippines, it may be perceived as aggressive or confrontational. Understanding the impact of body language in different contexts is critical to effective communication across cultures. To overcome communication barriers related to body language, it is essential to be aware of cultural differences and to approach communication with an open mind. Here are some strategies for effective intercultural communication. 1. Learn about different cultural values and beliefs that may impact body language. For example, in Latin American cultures like Mexico, physical touch is a common way to show affection and closeness, while in Japanese culture, bowing is a sign of respect. 2. Observe and ask questions to understand the meaning behind nonverbal cues. For instance, in Middle Eastern cultures like Saudi Arabia, men and women may not shake hands due to religious and cultural norms. 3. Be aware of your own nonverbal communication and how it may be perceived by others. For example, in African cultures like Nigeria, it is important to avoid pointing with your finger, as it can be seen as rude or disrespectful. 4. Adapt your communication style to suit the context and cultural norms. For instance, in some Asian cultures like Japan, it is customary to remove your shoes before entering someone's home or a place of worship. 5. Clarify misunderstandings and ask for clarification when needed. For example, if you are in a business meeting in China and notice that your colleagues are not making eye contact, it may be helpful to ask if they have any questions or concerns. In conclusion, body language is an essential aspect of communication, and it can vary significantly across cultures. Understanding and adapting to different body language styles can improve communication and build stronger relationships with people from diverse backgrounds. By learning about different cultural values and beliefs that may impact body language, observing and asking questions to understand the meaning behind nonverbal cues, being aware of your own nonverbal communication, and adapting your communication style to suit the context and cultural norms, you can overcome communication barriers and connect with people from different cultures. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Cultural Explorer.
Alrighty, peeps. So, what do you think about the videos? Do you think you need to watch probably the second video one more time, or you think you're good? No words?
I mean, it was easy to understand.
Okay, it was easy to understand and easy to follow.
Yeah, about the body language.
Alrighty, very good. So I am going to give you guys some minutes to answer the following questions. So the first one is what is cultural awareness? Why is it so important in daily life and in business? And you're going to give information of what you can remember about culture, body language, and culture shock. I am going to share with you the link of this last video. And I mean, you can, go back to it if you feel that you need to. So I am going to give you like 5 to 7 minutes, more or less, to answer the questions, and then we're going to discuss them. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Teacher. Alrighty, very good. Can you share the slide? Andrea, so what do you need exactly? Like, do you to check the questions? Like, do you need the slides to see the questions? Alrighty. Alrighty. So let me share it on your folder. All right. So this is your folder. Here we have this activity that is cultural awareness. Do not look at this, okay? Do not look at this Word document, because we are not going to work on it now, okay? Okay, Angelica. Okay, no worries, no worries. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm going to share the link of the drive so that you can access the slides, and I'm going to continue sharing my screen. Okay, so please start. It's 6:35. So at like 6:40, I'm gonna ask you how you guys are doing, if you need extra time or if you're done, and then we can start discussing the questions. Okay, clear, people? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Alrighty, please start. Thank you. Ready, guys?
Yes.
Finish, all of you.
Yes, teacher.
Alrighty. A teacher, is it required to writing them? I don't find out. You didn't find out any? No, I mean, you can write them down. It's up to you. I mean, it's up to you if you write them down. If you didn't have time to do it because you joined the session when your classmates have already started or had already started, so it's okay.
I thought that we had to put something down in a
No,
file.
not in this one. I mean,
Okay.
it was like optional. Like you could have written down on a piece of paper, but it was not on a document in particular. Not for this one, but for the next activity, yes, but not for this one. This is more like a discussion. Okay. All right. Oh no, it's okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So what is cultural awareness? What is that?
It's being conscious of the cultural differences that we have with other people from other countries or even religions.
From other countries,
Or both.
or sometimes from the same country, but from different religions, as you said, Christian. Very good. Alrighty, very good. Anything else that you would like to point out? Anything else that you would like to discuss or say or add?
Yes, teacher, I think it's an essential skill today because it can promote an effective communications among people from different countries, and not only between different countries, it also applies here in our country between regions.
Yes, in different regions, right?
Yes,
You can see that
yes.
it's very diverse here. It's very diverse. So for example, people from the Pacific coast is very different from the Atlantic coast, or people that live in Bogota, and then people that live in the north part of the country or in the south part of the country. So it's very different. Yes.
Yes, and
Right.
I also think that maybe empathy is one of the most important things that cultural awareness involves, because you have to be sensitive to the difference and also with similarities between food.
Alrighty, excellent. Thank you very much, Diana. Excellent. Number 2, why do you think that cultural awareness is so important in our daily lives, but also in business? So why do you think it's different? Sorry, it's important and we need to pay attention to it?
Because can lead to misunderstanding, and depending of the place, even problems with some, I mean, with a law, depending of the place, because some places have very strict laws about something.
Alrighty, yes, Christian, I agree. Thank you very much. Anything else that you would like to add, guys?
Yes, teacher, this topic is important because using them we can differ something critical about communication, and what's more, if we can communicate something in a good way, we can eliminate barrier that maybe don't let us to understand. Sorry, let us understand well.
Yes.
What's the other people wants to share. So it's really important to learn to read how the body language work.
Alrighty, perfect. Now let's talk about the video about when the video talks about culture and body language. So what do you remember from the video about this, about different cultures? Because it says that it pointed out different countries, it pointed out different cultures, right? So what do you guys remember from the video about culture and body language and culture shock, maybe?
For example, teacher, in Japan, it's common bound to show respect to other people. In United States, it's common to keep the eyes contact to show interest. But in another country, for example, in Oriental countries, it can be like you are being, I don't remember how to say that word, but that you are doing like mirando como fijamente para intimidar. ¿Sí?
Intimidating the person.
Yes.
To intimidate the
if
person.
you keep the eye contact in Oriental countries, it's not common. But in United States, for example, it's common because you are showing that you are interested in what the people are saying.
Yes.
Right.
All righty. Okay. Thank you very much, John. Excellent. They also mentioned, now that John was talking about, like for example, that in Europe, in Asian countries, it's very common, or in Japan, it's very common to bow, right? In other countries, it is normal to shake hands. In other countries, it's normal to give a kiss on the cheek or two, right? Or to give hugs. And it also said that in Latin American countries, it is very common to hug and give kisses to show love and respect to the person, maybe. But then, I mean, of course, we're not gonna hug and kiss our boss to show them that we respect them. No, I mean, it's more like for people that we consider close to us. But they also mentioned that in certain countries, body language and body contact can also say a lot. In countries like in the US, it's not common to hug a person. Here it is. When you meet someone for the first time, it's very common to say hi and then give a kiss to the person. Shake hands, give a kiss. That's normal. Or just shake hands, but it can also include a kiss. That could be pretty normal. In other countries, like in the US, that's rude because they see their personal space like a bubble, right? So they imagine that there is a bubble right in like an invisible bubble, of course. And if you are too close to their bubble, or if you try to touch them, that is extremely rude. So it's not very common for them to give a kiss, even if it's like just like a friend. No, it's not very common for them. So it's very important to know these differences in cultures, because we are going to face this at some point in our lives. Even if you're having contact with a person from another country because you're working in a call center, or because you get the chance or the possibility to travel to another country, you're going to experience this at some point in your life. So this is something that we need to be aware of, because you guys are bilingual, right? So when we are bilingual, we have opportunities to leave the country, to work in countries where, or in companies where we are going to meet with people from different from other countries or from different parts of the world. So this is something that it's very important to know, and it's very important to have this cultural awareness. Okay, very good, guys. So yes, John.
I'm sorry. I would like to share that in in May,
Yeah.
I met a person from the United States who came here to learn stuffing, and she was American, and I'm so happy. I'm so extroverted, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's nice to meet you. My name is John. What is your name? I'm glad." And she was like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?" And I start like touching her shoulder, like, "Oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Like when you do here in Santander,
Yeah.
it's great to meet you." And she was like, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And she never come back to me.
Oh my goodness.
And I
So
was like, oh my goodness, she felt uncomfortable because
yeah,
of my
yeah.
behavior. Of course,
Mhm.
it's something that is not common for her.
Yeah,
And I was the only person who did
did
that.
that.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
she was like, oh my God.
that was for sure too much for her, but you didn't do that um to make her feel that way. Of course not. I mean, it was not your
Right.
purpose. It was not your purpose to make her feel uncomfortable. It was just because it's our culture. We are very warm people, and we are
Right.
usually very like, we try to be super nice and to express through contact, maybe to paw like someone's shoulder and say, "Oh, I'm so happy that you're here," and to look at the person and then maybe like give the person a hug or something. but but we don't do that in order to make the person feel uncomfortable. However, for that person that could be weird, but
Right. Because
yeah,
of her culture.
yeah, because of our culture. It happened to me. It happened to me once. I was babysitting one day, and it happened to me that I went to this lady's house, and I was like, super friendly to her, and we were having a conversation, and it was super 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 friendly, and and then when I finished babysitting her daughter, I said, "Oh, thank you very much, I really enjoyed," and then I say bye and I gave her a kiss. But that was just my reaction, because I mean, I was just being friendly. And then she didn't say anything. I mean, she gave me the kiss, but then when I was driving, when I was in a car, I said, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Like, for a moment, I thought that maybe that was too much for her. Maybe she thought that I was being weird, that I was, maybe kind of like weird, because it's not normal in their culture. But they also, at the same time, they understand that we come from different backgrounds, and that maybe they kind of like understand, maybe if they're open-minded, they understand that we come from different backgrounds. Oh, I see her. Okay. Okay. So yeah, she seems pretty nice. She, of course, she's where is she from? From the United States?
Yes,
Yeah, she
yes,
looks
from
very
USA.
American. She looks very American.
From
So
Seattle, from Seattle actually, and it was her first time here in Colombia, in Santander, and we are very very friendly. We are very
yeah,
warm, as you already said, and she was like, "Oh my God,
this is a
what's
lot.
going on here?"
Yeah.
Yes.
When I moved to the Rothschild family, they're American, and but my host dad's family is from Germany. So Mark's dad was from Germany, and Mark's mom's is from Vienna. So they're European, and European people are also are very cold. They're very cold people. So I am not. So when I was with them at the beginning, it was like for them like kind of shocking, because I usually like hug them whenever I saw them. And for my host family, especially for Hannah, because Hannah is very American. She's like, the typical American girl, just like the girl from the picture. So for Hannah at the beginning was kind of like weird that I was very, like I used to hug her, and for them was not like normal. For them was not like, oh, this is not what we do here. But then at the end they got used to it, because that was also one of the purposes of the trip, of the cultural immersion, and the exchange program was to share and learn about our differences in terms of culture. So at the end it was pretty interesting. It's very interesting to learn how people from different countries behave, and how people from different countries and from different cultures are born and raised. So cultural awareness is something so amazing because it teaches us a lot. Yeah.
But
Yes. What do you say, Jolie?
but I think that is something that happened in this country too. Like, I mean, in different cities. Like, I am from Barranquilla, but I live in Bucaramanga. And all my family is from Barranquilla. And everyone says that Barranquilla people are very, I don't know how to say, confianzudos. And and it's something like it's like awkward, and sometimes even me with my family, I feel like don't do it. And they even like with me, they are not too much, because they know that I get mad sometimes, and and
Because
I
you
don't
feel that
like
it's
it.
too much.
But
You also feel that it's too much. Even
yes,
when yeah.
but my cousins and all my family, they treat themselves like that, like, yeah. And I look at them and it's like, don't do it. But it's like it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So this cultural awareness is not only for people from different countries, it's also for us, because in Colombia this is a very diverse country. So as we were saying, so our culture is very different from the people that are from the coast, right? For example, what is the tendency of people that are from the Caribbean coasts? What is the perspective, or what is the opinion that we have from them?
The stereotype that we have.
What do you say, Haden?
Maybe the stereotype that we have.
Yeah, they're pretty chilled. They
Or
are
maybe that we are
they like
lazy.
party a lot. They're
Yeah,
and it's
something like
true.
that.
It's true. When I went to Barranquilla, it was my first time in Barranquilla, and I went in January, and it was not carnival time. It was like the pre-carnival, because they start celebrating the carnival like a month earlier. I don't know. It's a lot. So for me, it was pretty shocking. Even I'm from Colombia, and like to see that, it was pretty shocking for me, because I would see houses decorated with the colors from the carnival, and then with these masks, the marimonda masks, and all the houses painted in different colors, just because of the carnival. And you would see people wearing these colorful shirts, and with it, and showing that they were coming from carnivals, and they were having like parties. And when I was, because I drove around the city, we drove around the city, and we visited several places in Barranquilla. I would see people having a party in every single corner, and so it was pretty shocking. There were like 200 people in one street, partying, dancing, and with loud music. And for me, it was like, oh my goodness, like, how can they do that? How can they party so much? So for me, it was pretty shocking. So it's very different, our culture from Santander, from this region, to their culture from people from that part of the country. Yes, John.
I'm sorry, teacher, for interrupting you.
No, it's okay.
I want to talk about the Baupes country, or I don't know how to say, the Indian country. Sorry, the Indian, the Baupes culture in this country. Culture. I don't know how to say indígena in English, or native.
Indigenous.
They don't like any kind of touch. For example, if you are greeting them, you cannot touch them.
And no physical contact. Not physical contact.
They don't like physical contact at all. So it can be like you are that you want to hurt them, and they can feel like, oh my goodness, what are you going to do? Stop.
Yeah.
And it was difficult for me at the beginning because, as I already said, I'm very happy and extroverting, and I want to touch all people. And I had to learn there that most of the people don't like physical contact.
Yeah.
I think we need to be aware of that.
Yeah, we need to be aware of that. Yes, that's for sure truth. Alrighty, very good, John. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the next part, that is cultural diversity reading. This is a very, I mean, not short, but not long reading. And we are going to find 6 examples of cultural differences in communication. Okay, so we're gonna have body language and space, address the way we address people, the way we, first interact with someone. Cultural and language barriers, cultural barriers in the workplace, giving gifts, and table manners, an overview of cross-cultural dining etiquette. Okay, this is very interesting. So let's start reading. The first one is body language and space. Christian, can you please start reading? I'm going to share the link with you, but I'm also going to be sharing my screen. Okay, so you can read from my screen, or you can read from your screen, whatever you prefer. Christian, can you start reading, please?
Yes, give me a minute. The first paragraph is body language and space.
Yes.
Okay, body language and space accounts for around 35% of the communication in situations where there is a language barrier. That percentage becomes even higher. That's why it's important to be aware of the type of body language you see in cross-cultural communication. If you get it wrong, you can end up unintentionally sending the wrong messages. In some cultures, eye contact is important, whereas in a few cultures, eye contact is disrespectful. For example, in the US, it's common decency to look someone in the eye when they are talking to you. In Indonesia, the opposite is true. In fact, maintaining a direct eye contact is seen as disrespectful. Certain hand gestures can be offensive in different countries too. While a thumbs up or a victory sign may seem innocent to you, it can be extremely rude to others. This principle also applies to greetings. Not everyone likes to be greeted with a handshake. In some culture, is completely inappropriate. For example, for Muslim women, shaking hands with the opposite sex is forbidden. In Sweden, a woman won a lawsuit against a company that discriminated against her for this reason. Be aware of how you take up space too. In some culture, it's polite to leave a certain amount of distance between people, while in other, this may make people uncomfortable.
Thank you very much, Christian. Excellent. So body language and space is very important. And then here we have some examples like eye contact and thumbs up. This is like, oh yeah, great, awesome. So for us, it means something positive, but for others can be extremely rude. Not everyone greets the same way. Like maybe not everyone likes to be greeted with a handshake. So that's completely appropriate in other cultures. For example, women cannot shake hands with male, right? Because that is forbidden. So it's very interesting to know this about body language and space. Let's read the second one, addressing people. Harold, can you please start reading addressing people? Harold, can you please? Okay, Andrea Vaca, can you please read this one, number 2?
Yes, teacher. First impressions are everything, so it's essential that you get things right from the first point of communication. That means addressing people in appropriate manner. Find out whether it's more acceptable to use someone's first name, surname, or title before reaching out to them. Some cultures do this more formally than others. For example, in Thailand, it's common for workers to address their boss as
Bosses.
father or mother, when business relations are particularly good.
Yes. So sometimes it's acceptable to use your first name, right? Or using the title like doctor or PhD or like any title that the person has, or Mr. or Miss or Mrs. Okay, so it's important to address people in an appropriate manner. Thank you very much. Diana, can you please read number 3, cultural and language barriers?
Yes, teacher. Effective communication can be difficult when parties don't share a common languages. As a result, companies often hire translators to mediate communication between the two to solve the language barriers. However, this doesn't solve everything. When speaking to people across different cultures, you need to be aware of few words and phrases can be directly translated into other languages. It will be best if you were especially careful when using idioms in business communication. While their meanings may seem obvious to you, they can be entirely baffling for non-native speakers. In any case, it's polite to try and learn at least a few words like hello and thank you in the other parties' languages. They are bound to appreciate
the effort. Yes, thank you very much. The person might feel that at least there is some effort from your side to try to say something in their language, and they appreciate that. All righty, very good. Let's read number 4, conflict in workplace. Freddy, can you please read number 4?
Yes, teacher. Dealing with conflict can be a complex and delicate issue in any case if you are dealing with people from different cultures. When you add language or cultural barriers, they become even more difficult. It's important to be aware of how different cultures respond to this type of situations. For example, in many Western cultures, it's common to approach people directly about a problem or disagreement you may have with them. However, Asian cultures can be very different. In Thai, Japanese, and Chinese business meetings, many subordinates wouldn't dream of disagreement with their superior. This is because it will cause their boss to lose face. This concept may be new to someone, but in Asia, it's an underlying threat across all communications. In these settings, if someone disagrees with you or is unhappy with your performance, it might not hear about it directly from them. To avoid causing either of you to lose face, they might talk about it with your boss instead.
Very good. So in Western cultures, it's common to approach someone if you are having like an issue with the person, right? Or if you see a problem or you disagree on something. However, in Asian cultures, that can be very different. Okay, that's not the way they approach people, or that's not the way they do things whenever they face a conflict in a workplace. Number 5, giving gifts. Let's see, John. I don't know, John, can you read now?
Yes, teacher.
All right.
Number
Number
5.
5. Gift
Okay.
giving.
It says, in some business relationships, it's common to give gifts. For example, when you're visiting a customer or supplier abroad, you might want to bring them a token from your country or something that thanks them for hosting you. Before you do so, it's crucial that you read up on the local etiquette with regards to giving. Certain gifts may be inappropriate in some cultures. In others, the act of giving a gift at all may be a complete no-no. Do your research to avoid committing any social faux pas. Gift giving etiquette is always complicated if you are dealing with customers, supplier, or business people all over the globe. For instance, in China, you're likely to be asked what kind of gift you like. Sorry, I'm sorry, teacher. For instance, in China, you're likely to be asked what kind of gift you like before receiving one. In Japan, you can expect your gift to be reused once or twice before it's accepted. In South Arabia, expensive gifts are common, but elsewhere, they may be viewed as well. They may be viewed as a form of bribery. Bribery. Once you've given or received a gift, what do you do next? This is another important step to think about. In some cultures, you are expected to open it right away in the presence of the person who gave it to you. In others, it's polite to take it home and open it in private.
All righty, very good. So there is, I mean, it's super like curious, this part. And then here it says, this is a French expression, fox pas. I mean, I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation because it's French, but it's when we say in Spanish, like meter la pata, you know? So do your research to avoid committing any social fox pas. That means meter la pata, hay que mirar si cómo se ve en ese país, si es normal o si ellos lo perciben de manera okay, recibir regalo, o si es un no, like no, that's inappropriate. You're trying to, you know, this is not the right thing to do, or it's a sin of bribery, right? They can, I mean, some people can see that maybe. And then it says,
Teacher, I'm sorry.
yes.
What is the meaning of bribery? This is the first time that I heard that word.
Oh, okay. So it's when it's like paying someone, or when you don't, it's, for example, imagine you're driving your car and it's pico y placa day, right? So this, a police officer tells you, or transit officer tells you, like, okay, you cannot drive because it's your pico y placa day, so you cannot drive your car. And then you say, like, oh, can you please do not give me a ticket because of that and that? But then you offer the yes, exactly. I mean, it could be that. So it's like, okay, I can give you 100,000 pesos and you don't give me the ticket. So you're bribing something or someone not to do something, right? So it's like sobornar. Okay, is it clear now, John? I hope so. I hope it's clear now. Okay, very good. And let's go with the last one. Yeah, the last one is about table manners and overview of cross-cultural dining etiquette. Mayra Pinzon, Mayra, can you please read it?
Yes, teacher. If you find yourself having a meal as part of your business meeting, you'll have to be aware of the local dining etiquette for eating too. Do you eat with hands or with utensils? Do you have your own individual dish or do you share lots of smaller ones with the rest of the table? In some countries, it's polite to finish everything on your plate. However, in others, this means that you are satisfied. Sometimes it's more polite to leave a little food behind. At the end of it all, face the bill. This one can be particularly tricky. These are all things that you'll have to think about when you're breaking bread with business partners.
So I have heard, thank you very much for reading. I have heard that in some like Asian countries or in China, or I don't know if it's only in China or in Japan, or if it's something like in Asian countries, that the oldest people pays the bill always. And it's rude if you're not the oldest person and you try to pay for it. So it could be very interesting if you ever experience, if you're in a business meeting and then you are with people from different countries or from different cultures. It's very important to read and understand a little bit about this. For example, in some restaurants, if you're eating in a Japanese restaurant or a Chinese restaurant, you don't use forks, right? You use the sticks. So you have to be prepared for those things that can be different from your culture. So it's also something very important to take into account. Alrighty, peeps. Now we are going to do one activity about cultural awareness, and we're probably not going to have time to finish this activity today, or maybe yes, but we will see, because now it's 7:20, so we have half an hour. So what are you okay, John, it's okay, not a problem. And so I'm going to create two groups, and then in the two groups you are going to find cultural differences from two countries or regions. For example, if you don't want to talk about a culture, about a country itself, but you want to talk about European countries, something like general, or Western European countries, for example, you can also do that. Okay, so not only on countries, but also from different regions, like Western European countries, or from African countries, or from Asian countries. You can also do that. So you're going to find two, okay? Two different from Colombia. We're not going to do Colombian culture, not because it's not important. Of course it is, but we're going to do it from other places different from Colombia, and focus on a few cultural dimensions like greetings, personal space, gestures, or social norms, and also focus on cultural differences in communication. Okay, then we are going to compare and contrast these cultural aspects with our own culture, with our Colombian culture. You can include pictures or short videos if you want to. Okay, so you are open to do this activity as you want, as you desire. For this activity, I'm going to grade it. Okay, so remember that it's going to be graded. So probably we're not going to finish this today. Probably, I don't think so, but tomorrow we're going to have the kind of like the presentation of it. Okay, so where can you find this? You can find it on the Google Drive folder here. You need to create a copy and then write group number 1 and then group number 2, because I'm only going to create 2 groups, because we only have 80 students in the session, so only 2 groups. Hold on. Oh, who left? This one left, as well as John. All right. So I'm going to create 2 groups. Is the activity clear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, it is.
All right,
teacher.
very good. So please join the groups. I'm going to visit you. I'm going to start visiting you, and I'm going to start visiting you, sorry. And you guys can share your screen in case you need to share your screen. I think it will be better if just one person shares it. And you can, work together. So please join the groups.
Hi, Joely.
Alrighty, guys. So we didn't have time to finish. I was checking the groups, and then, well, this group is about to finish, I would say. And then group number 2 as well. Okay. So almost. But still, we're not gonna have time to continue finishing today because time's up. So tomorrow, we are going to finish unit 3. We're going to finish unit 3. So in the first part of the session, we're going to continue working on this activity. You're going to give the presentation of your activity. And then we're going to work on Moodle. We're going to finish unit 3. We're going to be working on the activities that are on the platform for the 3rd unit. And then we're going to finish those activities from Moodle. Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for coming today to our session. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.